But, you know, we got a game 3, and I'm very excited. We've got some interesting pickups here. Got the Nico Baby Spectre, but of course, Stoneman's going to be playing the Shadow Demon. And this is one of those players. We saw him in the game previously. He's got good positioning here.
He does, and it can be pretty like annoying versus Spectre. The disruptions, you know, your Desolate's gonna be able to work against you a lot of the times, and these illusions, like later stages, they last an eternity. They last 11 seconds to start off, level 1. So we're seeing this hero being picked up so much, also just several different buffs that have coming out into the game. And Brame, this time, much better draft, I feel like, than that last game. You can definitely see where the synergy is between it all, too.
Oh man, Stoneman, and I just told everybody you have such good positioning.
You lied. Good disrupt. Buy himself some time, but nice body blocks, Hanskin. What a boss. Look,
oh yeah, he's definitely dead here.
Nope.
Oh, okay, never mind. Yes, there it is. S4, making sure that I'm not a liar. All right, let's go. But, yeah, you know, it's going to be interesting, especially when you consider the fact that the Shadow Demon is, of course, position 4. He needs to get the axe. It's very, very important for him.
Yeah, he's definitely going to need it eventually this game. Versus, now he's got all 3 cars are breakable. Like, honestly, all 3 are absolutely breakable there. Also, I'm going to be curious to see what Wish is doing. He's really good on Pugna. He's really comfortable with it. And playing versus, like, DK, Spectre, and Timber, you can actually do quite a lot of damage. All he really has to watch out for is DK stun, Lion disables, and Wish could have a pretty good time. And then also, later stages too, we've got Morph and a Willow on the same team. So potential for Aghanims will be there if they get to the super late game. But yeah, I think that's why Lions also give themselves the Spectre pick. They want to be able to match the late game if they do get to that point. And they've looked, I mean, this is the test for Brame. Can you beat Alliance at their best with these type of heroes? When they've got the Limp DK, they've got the Timbersaw line that we've seen them open up with like 4 or 5 times at least inside this DPC. So this will be the test.
This is definitely a strong barometer. You know, like we said, you've got this DK. It's got a 100% win rate so far. This DPC when Limp is on it. And then, of course, you've got S4 on his Timbersaw. Like, this guy is just, you know, I like seeing him on these playmakers. This is a person that's going to be able to apply pressure, and especially paired up here with Hanskin on the Lion. It's very scary. Look at how much damage Spartan's already taking. There's the spike.
That's taken
One more hit.
He should be okay. But yeah, so much pressure. They're so comfortable with these 2 heroes. Look at that. They played it a million times. Bottom lane, usually this lane, like Centaur is actually very good versus Spectre because you have that really high base damage and animation person. But I think Undying is actually one of the ways that you can kind of counteract that damage because you just remove his strength. Look, now you're at 60 damage. Spectre's at 54. You're only a little bit behind actually in that department to get those last hits. Courier does walk in and feed FNG. Does get his mangoes, I believe, delivered beforehand, but
still got his fruit basket at the very least. But yeah, it's been interesting to see the way that, you know, they're trying to deal with these tanky offlaners. You know, we've seen things like the Witch Doctor coming into play. You know, a Necropho's kind of going up against things as well. But then this time, you know, we're seeing this Undying. And I know there was some talk earlier on when the patch first kind of dropped, and people were like, I think off-lane Undying, like Core Undying, is going to be really good. And obviously, we're not seeing it this time around. It's run as a support, but it seems like a tidy solution to what they're throwing into this offlane right now.
Yeah, I love it. You see how he's even just, look how he's just throwing the decays. Like, Stoneman is standing on top of him, but he doesn't throw decay on Shadow Demon. There's no purpose. You know, he's just going to back up, heal off. He wants to reduce Centaur's damage, reduce his effective HP, as we do see that Spectre getting good last. It's mid. Courier just
dying left and right here.
Okay. That's a good chunk of gold there going for side of Brame here at the start. 2 Couriers dead. Morph is getting a lot of pressure onto him, though. That's the Timber and that Lion always going to be able to just constantly harass him. Mid is going Pugna favored at the moment.
Again, it's interesting to watch both of these guys. These are both heroes that they're very, very comfortable with. But, I mean, that Decrepify is so obnoxious, right?
Yeah, every time the Breathe fires on cooldown, he gets decrept, he misses a couple last hits. I was gonna say, I wonder if he maybe skills like a point and stun, because stun actually does so much damage now at first level. Then you have a second way to secure, and you're gonna want stun anyway at like 4 or 5, so.
You can see in the bottom lane, they did have to teleport out over on Stoneman, and they went and they dropped that tombstone, a lot of pressure. TPs are not cheap anymore, though.
No, he didn't TP all the way to base, though, thankfully. He did TP just to the tower, so he's at least able to stay down there to give that Centaur the nice support that he does need. And is even though he has his strength reduced, it's 15-6, but Spectre is still farming well. Normally, you'd see the Spectre quite far behind in this one, especially with SD being so annoying with the disruptions. And Nico Baby doing just fine anyway. And he'll be able to heal up. He's got Undying, so Soul Rip will come out eventually too. And he'll just be able to get topped off.
Just keep seeing those decrepifies over here, and do have that pointless stun though, like you said. So I'm trying to adjust and, you know, be just as annoying back here.
Able to definitely secure himself back up to the top there, Centaur. As I said, still leading the board, but good pressure. And also now they're still Lion. Lion has mana drain, so it's even more frustrating for the Morphling, as they're going to constantly throw harassment for you to burn your mana, and just mana burns a Spartan.
It's got the fairy fire, Nianta. Yeah, still will fall. As S4 just cuts him down.
Chop, chop. Love me some S4 Timber.
I mean, he looks so good on it. That and the Centaur has really shown for me in this DPC so far. Just really nice playmaking, or just, you know, making that space necessary.
Stoneman now starting to feel a bit powerful here, though, himself. On the opposite side, he's got level 3. So level 2 poison. Able to start getting stacks up. Nico, baby!
Let's be careful here. We got 3 stacks so far. Gonna get the 4th.
He's gonna have to pop his stick, or he might just die. He actually whiffs that one. Okay.
He's all right here.
He missed another one. Okay.
Someone is just a little bit off the mark.
If he had like another mango or something, he has disruption to get the setup. That could have been a kill, actually, on the Spectre from the Shadow Demon.
Pretty crazy to think about there, but the maze, of course, here with the brambles. We'll connect on a couple.
Another Courier just walked in and died. What is going on with Couriers?
I don't know. It's like DNZ's in this game, and he's on his bounty hunter. That's what it feels like right now. But
they killed him. He didn't get the boots delivered either, right? He just walked in and died. That was very interesting. A Spartan now.
Yeah. Immediately, though, Shadow roaming away. Bottom lane, another stomp coming off over here onto Nico, baby. They've got that disruption. Do they have enough damage on their double edge?
Close.
Ooh, so close, but he is going to survive, and he's got that ring of health, so he's going to heal up nicely.
2 points of Inspiration, definitely saving the day there for him. 12% damage reflected on both of those instances. Otherwise, he's definitely dead. But they did force him out. Look at his last hits. It's been stuck around 20 for some time now. Centaur up to 30. So they are starting to put a little too much pressure for that Spectre to deal with. He's looking to make a move around mid. Limp is 6.
Dire's middle
He's pretty fast. Oh, he does manage to connect though with that Earth Spike. Go with the Dragon Tail. They're diving pretty deep here though. Stoneman joining in. Doesn't have a whole heck of a lot of mana here, but is going to just throw out that slow here. Wish. Nice disruption from Stoneman. Buys a little bit more time. He's going to try to get some more mana off of this range creep.
Getting the Tombstone. The tower's starting to take some damage. Limp's going to start poking it too.
S4 on S4.
Whoa. Plays just a little bit too aggressive himself there when he is alone. It is a lot of magic damage. The Willow, as we've seen, if you do get hit by double brambles, and you can get pushed in. Perhaps maybe if we did see the adaptive.
That's possible. I do like the way that they're playing aggressive over on the side of Alliance, even though it didn't quite work out. The fact that, you know, usually we're seeing Brame, right? Brame is the one that's got that vision early on. They put it behind the tower, and they know that Wish kind of has to be parked here. He can't really be making those moves because he's up against the DK, and vice versa, right? You can't have the DK rotate out either. So, you know, you've got these supports kind of trying to make these rotations into the mid lane, protecting that tower. Very important for the Roche. But, you know, just trying to figure out, you know, where are these weaknesses? Where can we make things happen? And they found that opening with S4 here.
Yeah, and this is actually like both mid laners do kind of the same thing. They want to rotate, so they're just both gonna farm it up. So we're probably gonna have some stagnant lanes for some time here. And Spectre, he'll probably suffer because of it. He'll continue to suffer from the pressure from these two. FNG's gotta alleviate this somehow. It's a Centaur with that Vanguard finish up too, and Nico baby, he's starting to really struggle, starting to fall behind the chorus significantly.
So what's the best solution for this?
Bring the +1. Get the Lion down here with the rotation.
Okay, that's true, because you can just leave S4.
Yeah,
I mean, he's got to be careful, obviously, because there is a lot of magic damage, but it's very important. Like, when Nico Baby has a bad lane, especially on these heroes that he can't kind of bounce back with easily, it definitely makes the game so much harder for Lion.
Yeah.
Top lane, though, they might be able to go and get themselves a kill on Spartan. Okay.
Focus is 6. He actually can turn into that Timber Saw, so an extra bit of damage.
First crown will proc over here on S4, and he turns himself into the Timber Saw. Do they have enough, though? It's the battle of the Timber Saws. Who can do it better is the question. Spartan trying to get close enough. They need just a little bit more damage over here. They'll find it.
Very nicely done by Focus, actually using his mana pool perfectly there. He was literally at 0 mana at the end of that one. Beautiful stuff coming out. Now, Wish is actually the one who makes his move down to pressure the Spectre even more. So Nico baby actually has to just resort to just going to jungle. They drop the Tombstone to try to pull aggro off creep wave FNG. I won't be able to stall it enough now. Nice moves from Brame. Didn't even give the tip, yeah. Now they can farm the tombstone, probably.
Yeah. Well, now it's on cooldown, too.
Yep.
Was a valiant effort coming out from FNG, but unfortunately not gonna work. We do have the Vanguard completed now for the Spectre.
Okay.
This is a little bit different than what we've been seeing recently.
Especially into such a heavy magic damage draft, too, right? The Pugna, the Willow, I mean, everybody is just so much magic, but okay. I've seen mostly it's like these blade mails so you can farm ancients and stuff like that, but did a bit of a different approach here from Nico Baby.
Well, I mean, we always say that the teams that are setting the meta, the ones that are doing it differently, you know, those are the ones that you want to watch. So perhaps he's onto something new.
Vanguard is a pretty OP item.
S4, Curse Crown procs, and Spartan will get the kill.
He nearly soloed him there.
Yeah.
My God, Spartan.
Willow.
5 Willow might actually just be amazing right
but
now,
the
honestly.
Thing, right? We talked about this. You don't have someone, although Wish is making his way over. They've got the disruption. Waiting patiently, does have the life drain, and it's going to take a good chunk of that life away from Limp.
Should be able to push him away. It's massive amounts of magic damage, as we said. So Limp also, he's going to need some early resistance. I'd like to see some casual cloaks coming out, I think, on the side of Alliance, perhaps on one or two of these cores. Maybe the DK if he doesnn't get the good timing on BKB, but after Blink. Then he can go for it.
But are they going to get the Nether Shawl?
They probably will.
That.
Spectre will get Nether Shawl. You know, they always get the Nether Shawl on the carries, especially versus Pugnas.
It crops up very often. I want to know what the actual percentage chance is of seeing it.
It's always when it's like the most valuable, I swear they get it.
Yeah.
It's just like, PL, Illusion Escape, Void needs magic resist, Nether Shawl. Like, it just tends to happen a lot. Skylark doing similar to what he did with the Timber Saw in the previous game. They get that bottom tower. He parks himself up top to prevent the push from S4. Dragon trying to grab that catapult, trying to clear it down. But S4, he's also going to start burning him down with his damage.
I mean, he's a Timber Saw. This is kind of, where he shines.
Yeah.
But Hanskin making the rotation up top.
It's got hood already.
He does have the hood. That is a big problem. But he is going to lose some of this mana here from Hanskin. Stomp off over here on Timber. And it's just kind of spiraling back and forth. Over in the mid lane, though, looks like they can get the root off over here onto Limp. And he's just going to pull to Wish.
And a deny.
And a deny. They just can't do, you feel kind of bad for S4. He's throwing all of his everything, his whole kit out, sitting a bit low on that mana too, and Skylark is still just here.
Catapult's alive though. He's getting significant building damage because he's just tanking it. Both of them working on it together. Look at this. Love it.
It's a gentleman's agreement over in the mid lane too. You talked about how is Wish going to be played. This is definitely a hero he's very comfortable with, and we're seeing just how he's putting down this pressure. Nico Baby, he needs time.
He does, and they might actually not get too much of that time. I'm loving the way Brame's moving around the map and just setting themselves up for this early game. This is really nice. And this Timber Saw, these couple of deaths, they hurt. Like, you start falling behind, and they will have the damage to kill you constantly with this draft. Soul Catcher, they have the Pugna Burst, they have the Willow Burst. S4.
Yeah, to craft life drain. They even go for the Stampede. They just want to make sure he's going nowhere. And that's another kill for Spartan.
Alliance is, I mean, they're going to be under the gun for sure here. Now this tower, if they lose this tower, they're going to lose access to these stacks. And then Nico Baby is going to be extremely sad. Needs to finish them off as quick as possible. This is really painful. Your DK, your Timber are quite shut down versus all this magic damage. Your Spectre had a rough lane. How are you going to bring it all back together?
I mean, Limp is going to have that Blink Dagger fairly soon, so he could try to make plays with the Lion, right? We've seen, him pair up before.
They're going to invade.
They're full on invading.
They're going to just run in with the Pugna, with the Centaur. S4, they have to blanket this. They have Tombstone. Walking into high ground versus this Tombstone is still problematic.
Spartan getting a little topped off here by Wish. Does have to be a bit careful. We do have the Blink Dagger, though. Like I said, it's available now over onto Limp. So perhaps they can make something with this item timing.
Dominant's here too, though, so he can save.
True.
If they do go for the jump.
True.
FNG starting to get that big slow onto them, starting to amp them up as well.
He's trying. S4 over here throwing out the chakra. Limp with the blink forward here. Thinking about using the terrorize. We'll pump fake it a little bit. We'll force them back. From the back lines, though.
Oh, Nico Baby.
He went a little bit too far with that haunt. He needs to be careful. Skylark live for the stomp. We'll be able to go and land it. And it's just everyone chasing after Skylark, but they're getting the damage off here from Wish as he is backing off. They might end up just attacking the Centaur here. And it looks like that's going to be the play.
Tombstone's still too much for them to deal with. It got dropped right on top of them, but it didn't matter. They couldn't turn and hit it. Shadow Demon Disruption was casted instantly for them to reset, but yeah, Alliance, they do end up getting a big fight, which, I mean, they really didn't need to get something big out of that one. Focus, he was still just free farming, though, as this Morphling, so don't think Brame is too upset about even just losing that.
And has to be careful
top
here. Yeah,
oh my God.
Again, the Cursed Crown,
He's
the
just dead.
everything. They've got too much damage coming out in the form of just magic from SSA Spartan and Wish.
Yeah, he's got the Fairy Trinket, too. He's keeping it on the Willow. He's like, I'm just killing Timbersaw as a 5-position Willow. I mean, that's...
I mean, S4 wasn't allowed to have a game the last time that Spartan got this Willow.
Look at the 1,100 damage from tier 5. Like, this Decrep and Bedlam combo is ridiculous versus these tanky cores.
Oh, dear. NG
Another one.
Let's have these nice combinations. Bedlam, Spartan gets another kill.
Is 5-position Willow broken?
It's looking broken in the hands of Spartan right now.
It's looking unbelievably powerful. These brambles just do so much damage. Like, I'm seeing this new build that everyone's doing. It's 4-1-1. Even as 4-position Willow, my God, he's level 9. Like, that's pretty huge. He's the same level as his 4-position. Look at the two supports on Alliance. They're actually full level behind. He's the same as the Spectre and the Timber. This is going to be a really slow start for the side of Alliance.
To be fair, we do get Hanskin. He's got his Blink Dagger now. You've got the Dragon Knight. I would like to see him and Limp make moves around the map.
Wow, he does it. That is very surprising. Holy moly. So they do have ways to at least cover themselves now with the double initiations in case the saves come out.
Oh, but again, the gank here on top. They're just hunting. S4 does have that Timber Chain, but he's rooted into place. He's just not getting any breathing room this time.
They're not playing together with the Undying either, like in most of these situations. Sure, they had the good Tombstone earlier, but they have to have these situations where if the Timber's doing that, he needs that backup. He can't be doing this alone anymore. After the first 2 deaths, definitely not. Now the 3rd and 4th, like these are really costly. There's 5 deaths already for S4. And now Focus, he's already got Lincolns, and we did mention earlier, he's got a Willow on his team, so he can go for that Aghanims build, and it's going to be extremely effective versus tanky heroes as it makes your damage magical. So it just goes right through any of that tank ability that they will have, at least from the DK.
This is looking a little scary here for Alliance currently. You know, your highest net worth is 5.9k over on the Dragon Knight. 7.5k though over here on this Morphling. You've got all 3 of them sitting at like 7k. They do try to go
He's got Lincolns. Like, they got to somehow break that Lincoln's pre-stun. So they have to get like a Soul Rip or something. Or, I mean, the Blink Lion Mana Drain or something like that.
They've got options.
They do.
They're gonna jump over here onto Spartan. Should be able to clean up nicely as a figure comes out. They go and they drop the tombstone. You can hear the Stampede also coming in. They're just trying to get them out. They've not quite considered. Oh, but they go right back in with the stomp as their Carpify has landed over here onto FNG. He will go down to Stummoning.
They have to use Finger to kill the 5-position Willow, too. That can't feel good. Now Focus is like probably sitting around like, oh my God, I'm Morphling versus now limited burst damage. Yeah. It's a free 2 minutes or so for the Morphling to be able to farm quite safely. As long as he doesn't just play super low on HP, he should just sit around like 1400. Should be fine. They've got a Vessel also on Wish, so, I mean, these tanky cores are no longer by any means tanky, as they haven't really looked anyway. Oh boy.
Just the plays, the way that Brame has been moving.
So fast. Look at this.
Yes, it's been just so good. In fact, Hanskin here, have to be careful. Skylark, of course, nearby has the Blink Dagger. They've got their eyes over here onto the Spectre. Go and drop, terrorize the Fear. Just gonna try to run away. FNG is here, though. Trying to be a little bit careful. Limp linking forward here. Might be able to go and take out this Shadow Demon over on the back line. Hanskin does fall. And he's trying so hard. He doesn't manage to get it, though. It is going to be S4 who gets Stummoning down. But over on the back lines here, FNG running for his life as Skylark is just bullying them. Nico Baby, though, trying to run out. They've got the Brambles. You get the blink forward here from Skylark. S4 throwing out all the chakrams, everything he can. They're still chasing after Spartan. They still haven't managed to get it. They'll go try to chomp down over here onto this Tombstone. The life ring coming out, though. This is not looking good for S4. They've got so much magic damage. Again, throwing out another dagger. Another chakram thrown out over here onto Skylark. He has definitely been the tanky boy up front, though, and they just haven't been able to kill Nico Baby here during all of that. This flirtation of back and forth. And it's still, at the end of the day, Brame coming out on top.
And that's not, the Morphling's not even there. That's a 5v4 fight. Morphling's free farming the entire time of it. This game is quickly falling apart. Nico Baby now dying too. They, like, Skylark just tanked a full duration Tombstone. All the spells being thrown on this Centaur, and he still doesn't care. Oh my God. Brame. This is looking real. I mean, this is really just, it's so hard now for them to just get through this tanky front line. Like, how do they get to this Pugna over and over again? They've just done a great job of just disengaging time and time again. And he's going for Lincolns as well. Why not? That point target stun from the DK, also from the line, will be nicely countered, as we're going to see this one again. This is under ward vision whole time, too. Both sides do see everything.
There's nowhere to run here for Nico Baby. They back off a little bit. They go in, Limp finding this really nice initiation as they jump over into Stomanen.
But look at Limp. He just gets drained. Look at all this damage that's coming. And he's vesseled. I'm loving the pickup from Wish going for that because he is snowballing so hard on this Pugna. He's able to go for this build and just effectively remove any of their health, any of those tanky abilities from DK or Spectre or Timber. Just full counters all three of them.
Is this just too greedy of Nico Baby over here to keep going in, or is this necessary?
I think he thought he was gonna like get the kill and then just get out, but Skylar's just way too tanky.
That was a good minute and a half of just trying to kill the Centaur.
Like, look at him.
They can't.
He just lives, and then boom, Decrep plus all the damage between the two of them that we've seen from.
Oh, they're going in for more. They want to just jump on S4 again. This combo is so potent. Does have that hood. Doesn't matter though.
How many deaths is that? He's just getting bullied this game. 6 deaths now.
Yeah.
6 of the 13, just perfectly setting up the game for Focus, who pretty much has Aghanims now with that. Lincoln's under no threat in the game besides that finger.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
I'm like the Skylar, he just tanked this tower, no problem. Wish is just gonna keep throwing out those another blast, and Focus will clear up the creep wave. You know, this is
I feel like these next 10 minutes are going to be absolutely critical for Alliance. They have to start getting back in the game because I think if this keeps up at all in the next like 5-10 minutes, like this means Shadow Demon's likely to get an Axe, Morphling's going to get a Roshan and Aegis, and then how the hell do you actually do anything?
He's so close to finishing up this Axe.
He does. And they're actually continuing the pressure. They have got Pugna. They're feeling themselves right now.
I guess. I mean, they do have the Haunt available, but I don't know. They're just kind of letting them run into their base right now. Sports gonna try to push them back a little bit, but of course they've got the Nether Ward down.
Half damage on tier 3. You force 3 heroes back to the base as well. Now you can back up and do whatever you want. This is really good stuff from Brame.
This is so much map control. And that's something that Alliance desperately needs to do. You can see Nico Baby, he's doing the best he can, right? He's trying to farm up and trying to mirror their movements because he knows like a lot of pressure's on him, but he's gotta be so careful because if he gets spotted out, it's so much damage.
Yeah, until he has Manta for sure. Because then he'll be able to at least dispel some of those disables, the decreps and stuff. I still is going to be super susceptible to that SD ult, that demonic purge. But at least he'll have ways to be able to protect himself, which is he needs right now. They just don't have the other ways to do it, as this DK and this Timbersaw are just so far behind in the game. It doesn't look like it because of the net worth, but because of the way that the itemization has come out from Brame, it really does. But once DK gets BKB, he's going to look a lot stronger. And he is quite close, at least on lane.
And this is become a bit of a comfort hero for Limp. It's definitely not the one that I think of first, right? It's usually like the tiny EAs and whatnot, but you know, he's been making this look good, so we'll see what happens with that BKB timing, if they're able to find, you know, an opening here, but that back's definitely against the wall right now for Alliance.
It's hard for you to make plays because of how fast that Morphling did get Lincoln's.
Yeah.
You make like a little error, and they're gonna turn the whole fight on you. And he's also sitting pretty decent high HP. You see he's not sitting at that 0 strength. He's sitting still at 23. Decently tanky. Now they're gonna start Roche. He's gonna shift down. They've got Solar Crest. They've also got the Pugna for the sustain. So should be able to do this nightly as what?
He's just swimming around. He's feeling himself, you know. He's like, oh, we can take a Roche. Hanskin, though, is getting chased down here by Stallman and hasn't quite managed to go and land. He's been serpentining very nicely here. 2 minutes now. It's out.
This will survive. That was the SD ult also used. The Roche is dropping very quickly here in Alliance. Without BKB, DK, they can't contest this, so they just like avoid the fight, just get their farm for themselves.
All right, BKB is online now for Limp.
Oh, a stack, look at that.
That's a very nice stack, and
they're not gonna take? Oh, okay.
They might go back to it, you know.
They don't know where Alliance. Yeah.
I'm sure they're feeling very confident right now. Think, okay, well, I can push that out, then I could come back, I could go to the stack. Got Spartan right behind me. You have to be careful, though, here. S4, smoked up.
He's got Nether Shawl on him, so he's the one who's going to be really durable versus all that magic.
Jump forward here. They blow up Spartan fast, and yes, they can, but immediately the Stampede comes out from Skylark. They want to just hightail it out. Focus is still left behind here. He's going to try to man fight over here with FNG. He's got a decent amount of damage. Stomanen just trying to stack up all of that poison over here onto the side. The Hex does come out. They'll slow him down, but Wish does go down on the back lines as Limp does manage to find the kill.
And they get Skylark.
They manage to get Skylark as well, and now they're going to focus right back over here onto this Morphling.
A huge fight. They weren't able to disengage with the Stampede anyway. Now Focus.
Careful. careful here. BKB coming out from Limp, who's hunting. He can't quite get his hands up here onto Stolmanen. What a crazy fight, though, the way that everything was split.
Yeah, that was, I mean, they just completely smashed down that net worth. They caught themselves back up with that Blink DK, with the BKB jumping in, and just the Tombstone drop down. They could, I thought they'd be able to disengage, but no. S4 Timbersaw chases them all the way out, the Pugna and the Centaur.
All right, well, that's exactly what we wanted to see here from Limp.
Yeah. They needed these, like we said, the next 10 minutes, it has to be crucial for Alliance to be able to hit back, and they do. They catch Spartan up on the front line there.
Classic Spartan being in the front line immediately.
It's crazy how much they chase. I really thought that they were able to disengage, but yeah, okay, so Skylark tried to turn because he has the shard and he felt like good, but overwhelming damage in that Manta coming into play.
Demon gold.
And then they finally managed to slay Skylark here.
Caught up decently with experience. I'm sure they're probably evened out almost off of that last fight.
Getting there.
Just kidding, getting there. 5K swing though. It's a pretty big one when they do get to the cores.
But definitely needed, like you said. You know, that was very, very important that they start putting back into this game. So and SSA Spartan just chasing down the line again. Is going to get soloed. I have a feeling you're going to be playing some Dark Willow 5 in your pubs there.
I'm definitely. I was already messaging Lacoste about it earlier. We're both like, dude, this hero looks amazing. Limp actually forced to BKB versus just the Shadow Demon, and their base is actually getting sieged.
They're in the base, yeah.
Oh, he can also turn into the Pugna. That's right. Double blast, double Nether Ward.
Equals sad S4.
Very sad. He can't even cast spells. Look at his mana. Look at just going down. Like.
Yeah, the building damage is on. Skylark more than happy to tank this. Creep wave coming in here along with Spartan. Line's going to be up in about 9 seconds. They'll go to fortify.
How long do we have on the haunt? They're definitely taking the timing. That's why they're trying to push forward here so hard. Gonna be back up pretty soon. 5 seconds.
Got all the damage coming up from this Nether Ward here. Focus turning us up into the Willow. They're just going to keep dropping the brambles. Waveform forward. Going to try to whip down S4. They managed to find it. Back line here. Skylark jumping forward. The Fusel is finished now for Nico Baby, but they're losing so much right now, and they just can't seem to force them out of the space. They still have the Haunt online, but you don't have S4. Smoke coming out. Hanskin will go forward. They pop F&G. Flesh Golem up here. They get the buyback now from Timber. They're just going to try to blow up, and down goes FRD over on the back line. So they went in with the Haunt. Finger comes out, which does go down. Hex is out too with the Morphling. Skylark getting chipped away. Focus. Spartan falling over to the Chakram now. It is just Focus left here, and they do have that curse crack. We'll track over onto 3. It's going to give them enough time, perhaps. No, S4 with that Timber chain forward. Summoning is here. They go. They break the leakage. This is not looking good. All right, that's going to be the Aegis going down now. Can they kill the Water Boy twice? Though Summoning is just getting chased down, and it looks like Focus.
He'll get out. Okay, does cost them 2 buybacks. Oh, the range creep, look at it go.
Look at it go. You know, he's working. He's working hard for that money, man. This is his legacy.
And
he's dead.
Does cost him some buybacks, but a good defense for himself. He's still going to be building toward that Lincoln's after getting that Vessel and stuff like that. But like we said, Stominen was not there. He's key to get those type of saves if he does get collapsed onto. And what are we building onto Limp? Okay, so Limp is going to be going for another way to break Lincoln's, another way to be able to set up those stuns and just disable control versus Morphling. That would be beneficial. The 2 usual options, yeah, it's Halberd or Orchid. So that'll be pretty nice.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Focus, he bought himself a full SNY, just wants some extra status just to be able to sustain and just survive versus these heavy amounts of stuns, the Lion and the DK that provide.
That's a race for Scotty between these 2 cores here.
It is.
The big next item coming out, especially, you know, to negate any of those heals, which they definitely have on both sides.
Negate heals, get some nice slows, at least for Brame on the side versus a BKB of DK.
Big stack.
Nice. Yes, it is. Look at this.
Gimme, gimme, says Nico Baby. Nico Baby wants his farm.
The stack that was, I think that's the stack that was there from before, right?
I don't.
His Focus ditched it.
No, I thought he waveformed through it.
He waveformed through, but then the fight happened in the river, so he came and joined and turned into Tombstone. Yeah, I think he wanted to help his team and ended up now not farming a giant ancient stack that Nico Babe was going to benefit off heavily.
We're getting those objects, Orb of Destruction, getting picked up. Always nice, and
I think we're still going to see Brame do an aggressive play here. They're about to have Lincoln's finished on Wish, and for the next fight, they will likely want to have, you know, Stominen with them.
Right.
When they do go for that type of play.
What is it? The next level play tip when you tip the one guy who's not at the fight.
Yeah.
I know T's really big on that one. The mental damage.
T's all about the mental damage. That's why he plays. That's why he's level 25 Spirit Breaker. Just mental damage to everybody.
All right, well, FNG leading the charge up over here into the triangle. Not gonna find anyone just yet. Drops some vision.
Feeling strong if they can get the jump. That's why they have like these good wards down to be able to get it.
Brame is
They
just
actually placed
completely them.
oh, yeah, never mind. I was like, wait, did they just double place? What's okay, good. So if they can get the initiation onto either Pugna or Morphling, if the SD is not in position, they will die. They will get burst. But now, Brame, they're smoking themselves. They do have that Lincoln. So double Lincolns now is about to be finished up. Wish actually 20 gold short. He's waiting for it. Arcane Rune up top for Limp. He's also level 18.
Spartan leading the charge again. But Alliance also dodging here. They realize, people aren't showing. Let's just pack off. Because they do have some really nice wards that they've placed. So they can kind of keep tabs. If no one's showing on the map, it's definitely dangerous.
Yeah, and Brame, okay, Skylark is 300 from his Aghanims, but doesn't matter. They're looking for the fight right now.
Feel that tension as they're just trying to find, you know that Brame wants to be very aggressive. Alliance also was looking for a quick pickoff, and they went for that vision to drop it over into that triangle, so.
They will get the Ags now, though. So they did, Brame was looking for a fight, but if it didn't happen, they're like, okay, whatever. We're still next to another big item, which is going to be another really impactful one. Not only does it give you the massive amounts of damage reduction for these squishy backlines, the Pugna and the Willow, the Shadow Demon, but also you can bypass terrain. So you can actually do pretty well to avoid maybe the DK in some of these situations.
God, I remember when that first got introduced and there was like a massive bug and it just went and like broke the entire game.
It also was like 80% damage reduction when it first got added, which very quickly got reduced, and now we're at a nice normal level of like 40%, which still is quite high.
This is a nice pickup here. We have the Invis room picked up.
Okay.
Yeah, look at this damage coming out though. Oh my god.
Holy. The quiver as well. The combo.
Okay,
they will get the Skylark,
though.
Okay.
Off screen.
And did get the chain stun, chain disable. Didn't have to use the finger either, which is nice.
That's still in the bank there. If they want to use it for any other pickoffs.
Who got the kill too? Oh, FNG.
It was FNG, yeah.
All right, I was about to be like, if Nico Baby gets that kill, that's almost as Scotty finished up, but they do have, even though your tanky Centaur is always going to be there, there's a counteraction. Exactly. We got that nice flesh golem. Thank you, beautiful observer. And does have that solar crest. And of course, Desolate, right? It's pure damage. When you do have Manta just hitting all of them, it's going to be a significant chunk of damage. As Hanskin,
He's out. Yeah.
Ooh, he's playing some risky stuff.
I mean, he's got the blink and he's got to try to make these moves around the map.
Yep.
Coming in happily, stacking up that shadow poison over here. I'll try to farm up this camp. One of the benefits of this particular hero.
3 components of his Ags too. So as we said, he can literally break all 3 cores on the side of Alliance.
Most value Shadow Demon I think we've seen in a while.
Oh yeah.
If he can get to that point, though.
If he can even get the spell casts off as well.
That's
too,
true.
because he's going to get jumped. He is going to quickly become the main focus. As soon as he has Ags, Alliance is going to start turning their attention to Shadow Demon instead of Pugna. Does he take the purge damage? It's always tempting when you're going for Ags.
Hyper-focus mode, though, wants to get that online as fast as possible.
Yep, sitting inside the pit with Skylark, just waiting to see if that does spawn out. Nico Baby almost Scotty, 35 seconds until Haunt. He does take the movement speed anyway, I was going to say. It's like, you really want to take the purge damage, but it's not about the damage. It's about the break, it's about the slow, it's about the dispels.
And it's about staying alive and actually getting your spells off.
Yeah.
So, sometimes you gotta pick the less fun one.
So close. They're giving him all the farm priority. Look at this. Focus, he's knocking down the mud golems nice and low. They really want to get this timing together, and it's all going to come very quickly. It's also even the Scotty soon for the Morphling, too.
Yeah. But Scotty's completed now for Nico Baby.
These initiations are going to be absolutely everything. Wish actually has a pretty big rune for himself for the next engagement, too. If he doesn't get stunned initially, it's a haste rune on the Pugna.
Oh,
so he can probably, like, on top of Stampede, he'll be able to reset pretty decently. All right, Ags is coming out. Let's see what Stoneman is able to do. He can breaking all 3 cores. Probably wants to mostly just focus on the Spectre. Might even throw multiple ultimates onto him, but does have the potential for some crazy stuff in these fights.
You gotta be careful too because of the fact that generally, you know, Lip is that very front liner. So they do get the initiation over onto F and G, but there's the rest of the team here. They have to be a little bit careful.
Damage though.
Just dishing out that damage.
Holy moly.
Backing off. There's gonna be the Hawk. Nico maybe chasing after Stoneman, and he has that opening, but immediately they just run out. They gotta protect the Shadow Demon.
And now Brame is just gonna go back in. That's the most important ability on the side of Alliance. And they also popped the DK form as well, so it is gonna start ticking down too. Uh-oh.
This is looking a little bit sus here for them. They're in the pit. They've got damage. Nice brambles. Look at all these brambles. It is a veritable maze.
They used all their big, like even Tombstone's down. They used literally all of their big abilities.
They're still nervous though, it feels like, over here on the side of Brame. They're still trying to be careful.
Focus being patient until he finds one of these opportunities. Oh!
You see Skylark getting his position over on the back line here. He's getting found here by Hanskin. Timber Chain off, stuns, Chakram, everything being tossed out here. Spartan thinking about holding up to that terror right. Lip jumping into the back lines though. Does manage to get the silence off, but look at this damage again coming up from Focus. It's just so much as they're just tied left and right. Spectre, he needs help. They need to follow up. Hanskin going for the breakover onto the Lincolns. Won't get the Hex off. Terrorize gets tossed out as well. So you have that break still applied over to the Spectre. Is sitting in all of those brambles. They don't quite have the vision though.
Alliance is doing such a good job of dancing around this fight, killing Skylark, not even like without Haunt, they're able to do that. DK form does run out, but their Tombstone is doing some work. Focus makes his way back into the pit.
Got the Chakram tossed in.
But they are quite scared. Even though they had the breaks, they used them all. I think they have one left now on the Shadow Demon. No, not yet, actually 15 seconds. He did use all 3.
20-something seconds before we have the Dragon form back up as well over onto DK. I mean, they're dancing around them. They're playing this exactly the way that they need to.
Yep. Skylark is going to respawn soon, and his Stampede will be available, while Haunt is going to still be down for a couple seconds when he does come back. Yeah. Very long situation. 2 minutes we've just been lingering around this area. Everyone topping each other off. DK form is back up, so are the BKBs.
Focus is back in the pit.
And he's got Scotty now. So he is going to be a lot more effective versus those BKBs, and that slow is going to be really nice in combination with Break.
Well, don't hold the Spectre into place over on the side. Throw the Lotus up over here on Focus. They're trying to make something happen over onto the back line. They're not quite hard committing. They're just dancing around this pit, looking for this opening. Jesus comes. Skylark going in with a stop. Immediately going to be hacked up.
Oh, she's nice.
Lip is chasing over onto the back line. And they just totally ignored the lights. They want this rope to be. Maybe he's going to get the Aegis.
And
he comes out. They're going to just run away on the side of Brame. It's just taken too long for them to try to get this Roche.
That was such good discipline by Alliance. Not overcommitting at all, playing really, really smart around that pit, focusing on the Roche. They knew what the main objective is. They get Aegis, they get Cheese, they get Shard. Now Spectre's got a lot easier ways to be able to get into the backlines, not having to only rely on the Haunt, as you can jump in with your Dispersion. Really nice moves.
Top tower is under attack.
Regeneration.
Brame just very afraid of really committing forward for the fight too.
I think it was tough, right? Because they lost Skylark in one of those engagements, and they were waiting around. They're trying to be patient about it, but they just couldn't quite find the right angle there. And I think they were holding on to that Stampede too as a way to disengage. They're playing a little scared.
They are. I think honestly,
like, you can play like that.
The fact that they just had like no vision, like they don't even have ways to actually hit targets with that Morphling turning into Shadow Realm. Perhaps they should have just stopped the Roche, smoked, and looked for a fight when those ultis were down.
I was gonna ask if that was, you know, the correct play to keep like dancing around the pit, because it just felt like they couldn't quite get the angle.
I think they felt like they were a lot stronger, and Alliance just kind of surprised them with just showing up like that and just being able to stand toe-to-toe, even when they were running out of some of their ultis. I think it just, Brame just maybe didn't give that much respect to it. Because that would have absolutely been the play. If you can smoke around, catch onto these backlines, just provide vision, just so the Morphling can actually hit stuff, because that was the biggest issue there. He couldn't hit anything.
Only a 2K net worth lead now for Alliance, but definitely, you know, you can feel that Spectre becoming more and more powerful.
Yep.
And the way that they're playing, it was a rough start for S4 too.
It was. This Pugna is starting to fall a bit behind though. Wish after having such an amazing game. He still only has like 2 deaths, but starting to feel the reduction in the effectiveness for sure. Does find himself a telescope. Really good grab for his team. Himself and that Morphling in particular.
He's queued up a BKB as well. He needs to make sure that he can't get stunned up, and all this damage coming out from Timber has just been very difficult to manage here. So
S4, his Stormcrafter actually just killed the creep in front of them, so they should be aware of this.
Yep. Ooh, immediately though, turning into the Dark Willow.
They've got vision here.
Bramble, Skylar following up, and they blow up fast enough though. Just like, looks like they're gonna be hearing to the break coming out though. Over onto the back line, so you can see Focus is chipping way over at Limp, but Nico Baby, he's just gonna go on board. He's got his eyes over here onto Skylar. Got the Hex off as well. There's gonna be a finger pops over onto the Lincolns. They're still chasing Skylar on the back line, just getting chased down by Nico Baby, and he's looking for more. He's trying to get his hands on whoever he can, and again, these Brambles just causing a problem. S4 chasing down over here onto Focus, popping that Lincolns. They need more damage though. They're not gonna be able to take them down just yet. As Lip jumping forward again. Chalker, Nico Baby joining into the fight here. He's silenced up. Can they get enough damage on? Yes, they'll be able to go and get a double kill. As Spartan running for his life now will be able to throw the Curse Crown out over here onto Hanskin. But I think they don't really mind too much. I think they want to go after that tower.
Alliance just having better execution inside the team fights, better target priorities. Also, the cheese definitely coming into play there. But look at S4's damage. 7,200 in that last fight, as this Timber saw. Limp ends up dying, but he does live long enough for them to get some big trade-off kills.
I think you're still very happy with that fight if you're Alliance. Managed to take down some of the big boys. You still are able to put this damage down over here on the tower. And if you're Brame right now, you feel a little scared.
You are, even though you have the break mechanic versus the Spectre, it's not proving to be effective. They're somehow just running right through it. The Spectre's getting onto the back line time and time again, and now he's gonna have another option to be able to get into back lines when he finishes Ag. So he'll always be able to get on top of Shadow Demon and Willow and force them away from the fights. Alliance outplaying very nicely in these last few fights.
Is it time for the Aeon discs to start rolling out?
Oh, geez. I mean, perhaps they do need it, at least on the Pugna, but even then, it's like he's still going to get zoned out. It's like the Aeon disc going to pop, and then what? Like, the Spectre illusions are still going to chase you out.
You can see right now, Nico Baby sitting top of the net worth here. He's overtaken that Morphling. He's very, very spooky. Flicker online too. He's gonna have ways of spelling.
Yeah, at least getting rid of like the decreps and some of these annoying things. Still can't, of course, not get rid of that break or anything like that, but can still move around and stick on targets a little bit better. Wish is actually taking ninja gear to hide himself in the back lines.
A little bit longer on that decrepify duration too, but it definitely feels like, you know, Brame, they felt very strong earlier on here, and now it feels like they're kind of losing that confidence. Yeah,
the power is really, like, the big damage is really only coming from Focus. Wish just can't cast spells. Like, this poor Pugna just literally can't do anything inside of the fights. Even though he actually, like, I think he broke all three of the cores. He actually did. He, like, I think he purged Timber, DK, and Spectre, and it still was too tough for them to fight into.
There's too many things that they have to hit.
Yeah. The Haunt is just devastating. It's 25 too, so it's the damage that does get just come out from it is also quite terrifying.
Got the Ags completed now for Spectre. We've got the Shard online too. This Spectre is getting kitted out. Skylar, though, checking over here in the triangle. There's no one home.
They got to get themselves their own proper jump on a better hero, because the last jump was awkward too, right? They jumped FNG while he had Ghost Scepter, so it just actually set up the jump for the Spectre.
Yeah. No, with that.
Ooh, okay. He's constantly hunting himself too.
I like this, the way that they're playing around S4 and the ninja gear and everything. I really like the way that they're positioning.
Yeah, they've really bailed him out of a pretty bad scenario that he was in from earlier.
Covered nicely, and he's really showing, you know, why he's good with this hero.
8 deaths, you know, he's still got like one of the highest, they're not the highest in the game, but they've definitely rallied really nice behind him.
Still making it work.
Still making it work. And he's getting pretty big items. Love this pickup, his next one. Shivas versus both Morphling and Pugna counteract all of that healing that will be coming out, and also the shift from the Morph. Morph now has BKB himself. See if he can stick on stuff.
I feel like that still doesn't solve some of the issues that they're having on the side of Brame, though.
They just have to, like, commit harder, I feel like, especially to kill some of these back lines. But the DK Limp is just really being a problem.
He immediately turns around here. He's waiting over on the high ground. S4 sitting down at the bottom. Gonna clear up these creep waves.
Brame kind of trapped inside their base now. Line starting to really pull ahead in the net worth. It's full control of the map.
They're just choking them out here at this point.
Skylark's just like kind of running around looking for some type of opportunity to find something, but he has to be careful because there's so much ward coverage. He does have his own ward, so now they do see at least the positioning of Nico Baby if they want to make their own big jump.
They gotta know that he's never gonna be alone though. Okay, Nico Baby though, stand forwards, open up with the hoof step, double edge, terrorize coming in as well. They're trying to just stun him up, force that forward here. They've got the damage coming out from Focus, but can they do nothing to Nico Baby as they go right back, and they've had the haunt off, and they place the tombstone up onto the high ground. And you can see now, Brame, they don't like this. They don't want to take this fight any longer. Stampede to run out. They'll try to put out a bit of damage over here onto this Timber Saw. They're doing a decent chunk, but not quite enough to finish him off. Good save there from FNG with that soul rip.
A good hit, though. They forced Alliance into a bit of a defensive posture, a bit afraid because they had to use the hump, but they're still hunting. They have the Shadow Step. Focus. Does the S4.
Got the Timber Chain. Might have gone maybe a little bit too far. No, but they were able to take down S4. The damage jumping over onto the back lines. They've got their eyes over here on the instant. They'll go and they'll get the life drain off. Can they finish him off, though, is the question. As over on the back lines, they were jumping over onto Summon. They want to get rid of him. They don't like the fact that he's got these charges on that Demonic Purge. He's going to turn around. They found the Spectre. But he can't though, jumping over onto the back ends. He's got the Brave Gun. And look at the damage coming up. The stuff coming up with Skylark. They're going to kill over on the Nico Baby. And now
they can't get Stormin in.
Left over here on the side. He's got the Cursed Crown on him. They just need that vision. Do they have it?
They do.
They do indeed. And boy, do they have the damage.
And they did buy back on 2 heroes on Alliance to try to rejoin the fight. They didn't have Dust, Moxie. They didn't have detection for the Shadow Demon. He gets glimmered, sits in the midst of the fight, turns around afterwards, get the disruption, and they turn it.
And he had just the right vision there, too, to grab Nico Baby. And all of a sudden, it just... In the fight, too, the way that it was just disjointed, right?
Yep.
I feel like Alliance, when they have them in this tight group, they're controlling it. But this time around, it just split off so much here. You know, they jump over onto S4.
The damage is just so... If they actually can have the vision to be able to hit heroes, Focus is going to kill pretty much everybody. And yeah, they just did a great job of resetting after they forced the haunt from earlier, where now we see Shadow Step comes out. Both the supports defensively reset themselves. Wish pops BKB, nicely move themselves back, and then Nico Baby gets caught because of that Shadow Poison. Great plays from Stominen.
We talked about his positioning too, and oh boy, did it pay off that time.
Right, what a close game this really is. Just back and forth with initiations, just back and forth. Just not having some detection can cost you so badly in some of these. As now Raxes have dropped.
Radiant's middle barracks.
And that gold lead, which was like 8,000 for Alliance, is completely gone. His gold doesn't feel like it's going to be the biggest issue in this game. It just feels like it's going to be up to these initiations. And if they have the vision, if Focus can actually wail on targets like he did in the last one, it's going to be quite problematic. As now Roche is back up, but Alliance also have their full force.
The BKB is completed now for Nico Baby, so it's going to be a lot more difficult. Again, it comes down to who gets the initiation on who.
And if they have good vision, like the Roche area is actually not the best vision control for Focus to actually hit people, because they're either like hiding behind a tree, going up a hill or something like that. So that area is a little bit difficult to hit, at least for him. So now they're doing what they should have done earlier, I feel. Get the smoke, get onto the high ground so you can see the heroes that you want to actually hit. And they know there's a couple buybacks that are definitely missing.
They're going for the sweep here, standing over on the high ground. The jump forward from Skylark immediately, though. Houndskin over the back line, so he just gets absolutely obliterated as they go. They use the Stampede. They try to get in there with the Spectres. He's trying to just close the gap over here, but they just can't seem to kill Stominen. He's just surviving way too long. It looks like Skylark, though. He will get taken down. Break has already been applied here. Two consecutive look at Focus. He's just chasing down Nico Baby. He should be able to level up. There's no buyback now over here on the Spectre as the hunt is on over here. Do they go further? Do they try to grab anything else? As Wish has been able to just sit back, just go and heal up again. They bought back on Hansken. They bought back on Skylark.
Did they run out of vision again there too? I didn't see if the sentry was actually in range, but he got glimmered. I know he had the reduction from the Stampede, all that damage reduction, so they couldn't actually kill Shadow Demon. He's everything. If he gets that break, we see just Spectre melt.
Ooh, we got the Aghanims Scepter now on the Pugna.
More
gonna allow him to be in a better position as well. And they found Limp. They found him over here. He's really trying to blink away.
Okay, he will be able to survive for a second here. But it's 50 seconds still, and they can definitely clean up top. Thankfully, Alliance, they still do have that bottom tier too.
Well, they've got their attention now over here to this top tower and Rax.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
You gotta let it drop. Just throw some shotguns maybe. But still, you actually have to be careful to even poke this Morphling, as we've seen.
Radiant's
The
top
positioning coming out
barracks
from
are
the side of
under
Brame has
attack.
just been spot on here.
Yep. Just they're bailing each other out. The two supports just sitting next to each other, constantly protecting each other, even the Stampedes
Radiant's top
over and over again to
barracks
protect them. Been really nice, but Alliance still definitely do have a fighting chance in them in this when they do respawn with the Spectre, but they need to be careful about the jumps.
Focus is just going to back off.
He's by himself pressuring them, just like...
You have to be careful because those sorts of plays can easily backfire on you, but...
Another full item soon coming out for him. Gonna eat his Aghs. And an, oh my god, they're gonna have double stamp.
I know, double
Generation.
That's gonna be tough for them to deal with, for them to stick on top of this Shadow Demon.
14k net worth lead going over to the side of Brame here. Dominant has just been so hard to get their hands on.
Only 3 deaths. Like, and there's a haunt that's jumping on him. Like, that's pretty remarkable.
I mean, it's a testament to the way that they're playing, you know, especially the way that the supports, like you said, they just group up, they make sure that they keep each other safe. Wish is also able to, like, I feel like Spectre has to jump on so many people in the back line. And, you know, Limp has been having these really nice initiations, but it's still, it's just so difficult.
Aeon Disc now also for the supports. Yep, they're gonna have even more ways to protect themselves. As Focus hits the last set, Alliance.
How far back he can sit here. Even though they drop down the Nether Ward.
Double Curse Crown. Boom, boom.
Music to Dark Willow's ears. Sports crying. There's out the Chakram. They both get caught up in all these brambles, though.
Flip was looking for something there with the ninja gear, just wrapping around the back.
They've got a gem on for the Dragon Knight too, to help them, you know, keep tabs on all these. It's just so hard right now.
Needs it, yeah.
And look at how far Focus can just sit back. He's just wailing away on the power. Just take it easy peasy.
They're putting Alliance in an awkward situation to force them to initiate, perhaps, with the Haunt.
Spartan. Classic Spartan. Very far forward this entire time, but the butterfly delivered now for Focus.
My god.
They've got the Lincolns over on one of the illusions too, trying to bait out anything here. That's forward, very far forward. Look at Focus, he just goes right on in as they do get the haunt up over onto the back line. Seth got the BKB, they're looking, they're hunting. Can they grab anything? The break is applied though over onto the Dragon Knight. And look at Focus, he's just chipping away over at Lip. He just obliterates them thanks to that break coming out from the Purge.
And they instantly popped the refresher just in case on Skylark. I believe that the Pugna got BKB up as the Dragon Tail was flying at him, so he dodges that, is able to reset.
And this does get popped over on the Dark Willow.
But that's the
forward again. Focus jumping in on everyone here. It's gonna get stunned up. They're trying to make moves over onto the back lines, and they still just are not able to go after these people. Trying to get the break off too. And look at the damage coming out from Focus as they just chase him down. He's got the BKB up, but it doesn't seem to matter at all when you have this kind of damage. Terrorize Nico Baby, who's gonna be able to still back just a little bit longer, which was trying to drain off some of that mana and whatnot over on the back lines, but Alliance just feels like they're running out of options.
They're running out of steam. The purges just keep coming out. He's just broken every fight. You just can't run into these fights, and there's so many controls for this Spectre.
Radiant's middle tower
They don't have their Stampede right now. They don't have one of their demonic purges. Okay, now they have one charge. They're gonna heal up, ready to keep going.
This again, just dishing out the damage. Chakram, they're trying to burst this Morphling down, and they're just not being super successful with this.
35 seconds on Aegis. Might have the timer. The jump on Nico Baby.
Immediately over to Nico Baby, who's stunned up. Okay, that's going to be the Aegis going down. Spartan over on the back line. They do try to get the jump. We'll finally be able to take down that pesky Dark Willow. Focus popping his own BKB. So hunting for Dominant. They're not able to find it. F4? Is he going to make it out? The sun goes out over onto the side. Life Drain goes through, and F4 will fall. They've got their eyes on FNG. The damage is there. It will fall. They have buyback now on the Timber, but there is no buyback on the Undying. You feel Brame, they want to go back in here. They don't have the Dark Willow, though. They have to be a bit careful.
They're still pushing forward here. They still want this. As the base is really starting to get pressure.
Over on the side. Lincoln's getting popped. Hanskin trying.
That's the Glyph Force.
They buy back on S4. Just keep trying to use these shadow steps. They're trying to jump and just get rid of the Shadow Demon. He has been a thorn in their side.
He's trying to bait them to look at him with his illusionist cape. He's like, hey, it's me. But no, it's not.
Yeah.
Can't get on them. They just can't get on the Shadow Demon. And now I believe another demonic charge is ready. So if Nico Baby just walks too far out of position, he can get jumped.
Yeah, they're oh, look at that damage over here. Oh, that's 4.
Focus.
Though he's hacked up. They've got the fingers. They're going to be able to burn him down. Finally, yes, they do. They get the kill on Focus.
He went too far.
His team cannot follow him that far. It's immediately Brame TPing out.
Lions have a window for themselves now, too. They did have to use the Haunt to be able to get that, but they get the big kill onto that Morphling. Along on our Roshan, we got about 2 minutes still until we even find out, so they will have time on the side of Brame to respawn, and tower pressure, lane pressure is still going to be there on the side of Alliance.
We talked about this, right? The fact that, you know, we saw how confident, I guess you could say, the way that Focus was playing earlier in that mid lane. He was very far forward. The rest of his team wasn't with him. This time, team was fairly nearby, but he just went too far forward, and they don't have the means to jump that distance, except for maybe, you know, the Centaur, but he was already getting hit.
Yeah.
Could not get over to that position.
He overplayed his hand just a bit too much, gets punished. It's Alliance. Now they can get their lanes out, push out mid. Nico Baby, 5,500 gold, so ready for another item pretty soon, too.
Look at them. They're still trying to bait some spells over here.
Whoop. Just they're constantly passing off Illusionist Cape between the two of them.
I mean, you know, we've talked about, you've been watching, you know, all those Chinese games, the fact that they hand off the neutral items and they try to make, you know, different things, different situations. It's smart, you know? Why not? You have this capability. You can trade it between different heroes.
Yeah, you just bait them constantly.
Bait them constantly.
And he's now just holding it entirely this time. Now Spartans, he's going to be the one holding the telescope instead for the team.
Okay.
5 minutes, 5.5 minutes till we got the fun.
Ooh. The big boy items, they're coming.
Yeah, give me a Morphling Ballista so I can siege from it downtown. Oh my god. Lots of different really good ones for both sides of this game for sure. The Apex also very value on both carries. Mirror Shields could actually be unbelievably valuable on Nico Baby if they're able to get that. But we still have 5 minutes, so we'll get there soon. As lanes are starting to get pushed out pretty hard. We also have new catapults spawning in about 2 seconds here. So double catapult waves now pushing down the lanes as well too with these Raxes. This is the tough part here. Is like if Brame actually sets himself to push bottom and they don't actually kill these double catapult waves on Alliance, their base is going to start getting heavily sieged. They do have to try to push them out a little bit here, but Brame, they're not going to give them the time. They're going straight down here.
They know it all comes down to that initiation. Very, very important. They do need Stallman though.
They look, oh, they were trying to actually sweep the heroes that were trying to kill those waves. Not going to find anybody, but that does mean the waves will push in and start to cause some big problems as now they get some vision over here, and they're worried about Roche, so.
And we get the Aeon Disc pickup now for the Shadow Demon.
Okay, now
These
even harder for him to die.
With all of these, you know, these Aeon Discs, it gives them just enough time for them to get off the spells necessary to protect each other. Whew. Tension is palpable here. Alliance also smoked up. They were hoping to, you know, maybe catch someone that was out of position or perhaps get an initiation that's favorable, but everybody's just dodging each other. This is nice. There is a double damage available in the lower spot.
Quick shadow step from Nico Baby to get some type of information. Does see the Willow. He actually he got rid of his boots too, by the way. So it's a very slow Spectre. If he gets like, I mean, he's getting purged the whole fight anyway.
Right.
But
you might as at this point.
That could definitely prove problems because he's been getting kited a lot anyway. So 2, 3, and 15 this Spectre. Now they have good high ground positioning with this ward. But these, look at the base. Like, look at these catapult waves.
They have to deal with this.
Top catapult waves, bottom catapult waves.
Of course, Grind, he has picked up the boots of travel. He's going to be the solution. See a little bit of a fight starting to break off here. Focus jumping forward immediately over here onto Lip. He doesn't have the break of fly, but he does enough damage as he turns around over to these Spectre illusions. Over on the back line, they tried to jump over onto Spartan. They're not going to be able to do it. They've got so much. Oh my god. Nico, baby, he's dead. Finger comes out with Stone, and again, he's got that air that he just picked up. And you've got these creeps wailing away over on your towers. S4 chasing after Stoneman. It is so hard, but again, with that stampede, he's able to juke. He's able to move around. Nico, baby, he did buy back. They're just so sick of the shadows. They should be able to get him this time, but you've got creeps in your face, Alliance. You need to go up. You need to protect your buildings. It is defense of the ancient. Nico, baby, over here on the side. He's not going to be able to go back. Focus is chasing after him now as the Alliance running home, but the damage is being done to the buildings. As Focus chasing down over here at Nico, baby. I don't know if they're going to be able to do this in time.
He's going to go down.
He's going to fall here if they don't get the down. Oh my god, he tries to run, gets rooted into place. And there's a wave fan coming out from Focus. And
there's no Spectre.
They don't have Spectre. There's no Spectre. They've got over here on the side. They've got the break applied. Limp is going to go down next. He does not have the buyback.
Brame have done it. They have won the game. Oh my god, with some crazy team fights, crazy drafts, they've finally been able to do it. The support play, GG well played. What a look at Spartan, he can't even handle the keyboard. GGPWP, look at him stand up and pop off.
Mashing his hands on those keyboards.
They deserve to pop off though, especially the supports in this game. That Willow and Shadow Demon, my god, what a performance.